Anytime I get to hang out on the Daddykirbs farm working on a project and hanging out with you guys is a good day. Let's review this chicken coop. Where were we when we left off? So I built out that one corner down there. We're going to do more of that today. But I want to illustrate right now. So the framework, we have the verticals and the box on top and on bottom. You can see that. Same box on top and bottom. But this chicken coop is... it's a bit wobbly.
Kinda wobbly, aren't you?
It's not extremely stable right now. So after today, hopefully in this video, what we get done is a lot of the framework. We're going to get all 4 corners built out and a few more verticals put in place and some horizontal. Anyway, we're going to put a lot of wood on this and in a way that looks good and makes it more stable. So at the end of this video, we'll try to rock it again and see if we made any progress. Right now I'm going to work on building the other 3 corners just like this one, where we put a couple of braces. This horizontal already goes all the way across. That's for the metal on the bottom, and there's just enough room here for the size of that galvanized hardware cloth. So let's just start building. We'll pull a few 2x4s out of our resource pile, and that's what we'll primarily be working with today, is just the 2x4s. Or 2x4s if you don't like 2x4s. These 2-foot long 45-degree angle cut brackets, there's 2 on each corner, so we'll cut 6 more for these corners and put those on first. I'm using the first board as a template, and I always use the same board, the same piece as a template, because each other piece could be incrementally different, just slightly smaller or bigger. And if I keep stepping down using one board to the next as a template, then my dimensions can get further and further off. So by using the same board as a template every time, I can ensure that I'm getting something a lot closer to the accurate size that I'm looking for. I think that's my hawk saying hello. Oh, there he is. I was never going to get that on camera. You could barely see it. But he was sitting right over there saying hello to me. I'm working on a solution. My screws popped out here, so I'm going to put some longer screws in and I'm putting ratchet straps to help hold it all together until I can get those screws in. But for right now, I'm gonna put my camera under my jacket because it's starting to rain a little more. Basically what was happening there is that my 2.5-inch screws here going into this board on top wasn't enough to bite into that wood on all 4 corners, so whenever I wiggled one corner, the other corner would pop out. So I just pre-drilled and put these long ledger bolts in, and with one of those in each corner, that top box is about as secure as it's going to get. 3 corners pulled in real tight. This one still is a little bit off, but there's plenty of screw in there that it's not going to come off. And by the time we get all the other supports on, it's going to be good. The sprinkling has sort of stopped. Feels pretty good right now. I got the braces on all 4 corners, which is just the angle braces. Now what I did, I went ahead and went back and made a choice to put more ledger bolts in. That's the big bolts. Because what I was discovering as I was putting in these angle braces, that this old wood is a little bit soft in places. So my one little screw that's 2.5 inches long wasn't doing a very good job. In fact, some places it was splitting. So I pre-drilled again, and I put that ledger bolt up through here. That gives it a nice amount of those bits right there tie in really nice to that wood. It bites in real good. So it also goes through a good job here without splitting the wood, and it pulled it in real tight. So I put one in each corner, each 45-degree corner. So there's 2 ledger bolts in each 45. There's one on each side. So I went through and put them in all of those, and that pulled this structure real close and real tight. You can see now, if I put lateral, try to move it laterally like this way, it has very, very little movement. It still has a little bit. If I pull it this way, it wobbles just a little bit because there's more length, and you know, so I need more support. And I think we're gonna go over 4 feet. Now correct me if I'm wrong. This part's gonna be covered, right? Like wood or metal? This part's open. Okay.
Those corners are covered.
So just those 2 walls are covered. This one is completely open by wire, for wire. Okay. So since this is going to be open wire, it's going to be metal on the bottom, correct? And then open wire on the top. So we do need that brace, just like on the back wall. Mm-hmm. We need that brace across here for the metal. And
where's the door going?
That's what we're figuring out.
Okay, it's on this side though.
It's on this side. Okay, can you tell me where you think you want the door? Is it just pretty much centered in this open space?
Mm-hmm.
So, not centered on the wall,
right,
but down here as if...
Yeah.
Okay. If I come in 2 feet and make a 30-inch door, then that puts the door right there. Does that look pretty good?
Looks perfect.
Looks good? Okay. So we're going to make a mark here and here. So our door opening is going to be right here. Let's start with building the verticals on both sides of the door, and then we'll figure out the rest of what we need to build the walls. Each side of the door is going to take 2 2x4s. I'm going to put one on the inside and then one filling in. That's going to make, you know, like a 4x4 thickness and a nice solid post for both sides of that door. Alright, so they fit pretty good and snug. That's going to be our door. That's a pretty big door.
That's what I was thinking.
Do we need a door that big?
No.
Oh. Oh, I put that on the wrong mark. Are you still recording? My door is not that big. I put it on the wrong mark. There's my mark. Does that look bit bigger?
Much better.
Better, I mean, not bigger. It's a pretty good door. We will have to duck our head.
I love that it's not going to look like a brand new coop.
Oh, yeah. Little tap tap to put that in place. Make sure that is 2 feet 6 inches. Top and bottom. Now we'll put the board on the back side and get that all secured in. All right, cutting more boards. One of the benefits of having your wife as the camera lady is that she can tell you when something's wrong. She was hoping that this metal wall would be a little shorter. Now, partly I'm using the dimensions of this galvanized wire, to know how big this opening is. I do have a little wiggle room, so we're gonna take this board and move it down 1 2x4's width, and that'll give us a slightly bigger opening with wire and a slightly smaller metal wall on the bottom. And it's a good thing that decision is made now, even though we're gonna have to make a few extra cuts and pull off some and readjust it. It is good that that's figured out right now before we go and do the entire wall over there. So I'm gonna make this adjustment and then go back to doing the doors. So we're gonna go recut these pieces to the proper height and then move that wall down and then fill in that gap there.
Don't you love the way the fire smells?
Yeah.
Makes me feel like we're camping.
Right down in place. There's no reason why I can't just plug that in right there, because there's nothing structural, load bearing about that, so I can just, this door structure, I decided I'm gonna need that board going across here just like on that back wall. So I loosened up the front piece that was just slid in there. This is now in there solid. I'll go cut this off, that way I can put a board across here and then fill in that gap with that top piece. We got that side all fixed up, and with that horizontal piece, we have a few pieces to frame in on the corner, but we're gonna cut this side to give us the same option to put a horizontal across here.
Annie! Hey, girl. You come see Mama. Hi, Annie. Hey, pretty girl. A lot of framing, isn't there?
Yeah. Annie. Annie. She don't want to come to me. She likes you. 7 feet 6 inches. Come here, girl. She doesn't want to live on me. It is starting to rain a little bit more, and we pretty much have accomplished what I was hoping to accomplish in this video. Let's go over what we did here. We put all the corner braces in, which really secured up the building. I have no lateral movement and very little, this way movement, lateral and this way. We framed up the doors. This gives us a nice 30-inch door, 30-inch opening, which also adds a lot of support to the structure. A horizontal piece on front and back, or the both long sides. That's going to give us space to tie in that metal bottom for all the way around the bottom. The wire is going to go all the way around on the top here. This wall we're leaving open until later because we're not sure exactly how we're going to put that wire on. We want this to be as open as possible. The back wall is going to be all wood. And this corner over here is going to be where the coop is, the house, the chicken house. There'll be a little ramp, and we'll figure that out as we go too. The roof is going to be a whole separate video. Building the door is going to be another video. Lots to look forward to. I'm very happy to have spent this time with you today. The structure is in better shape. It's stronger, and it's starting to look more like a chicken coop. I do truly believe that everyone has a story and every story counts. Thank you so much for being a part of my story today and letting me be a part of yours. I'll talk to you soon.